Today in Nentour class, we're going to talk to you about Mexican history.
We're going to explain everything that happened from 1810 till the 1900s. Hope you enjoy. First, we need to know that this movement was proposed only for protest, not for an independence. The independence was a movement proposed by the Creoles, which wanted a representation in the government. This was provoked by the Borbonic reforms, which in less words removed all from the Creoles from the governmental positions, because the Spanish thought that the Creoles were the main cause of the economic problem. Instead, they put Spanish people in those charges. One other main reason was the French invasion to Spain, which contributed to this movement, and obviously environments.
This is the Mexican independence. First was the Hurtado's conspiracy. The main characters were Miguel Hidalgo, Allende, and José Ortiz de Domínguez. Then it was the Cry of Dolores, and it was on September 15 of 1810. And well, the main characters were Hidalgo, Allende, and Juan Aldama. Alhóndiga Granaditas, September 28, 1810. This was one of the bloodiest acts that Miguel Hidalgo did, and this act was all the Mexicans entered Alhóndiga and killed everybody that was there, and the main people that were there were the Spanish people. And Battle of Cusco, November 7, 1810, was the first defeated for the Mexican rebel army, and Hidalgo's dead, July 13, 1811. Well, these are the main documents. It was Constitución de Cádiz, 1812, Sentimientos de la Nación, 1813. It was by Morelos. It was the first time that an idea of independence was presented.
Today I'm going to talk about Antonio López de Santa Anna and the most important things he did. So Santa Anna was born the 21st of February of 1794, and he died on June 21st of 1876. He was a president a total of 11 times. What? I know. His right hand was Valentín Gómez Farías, who was vice president many times. Anyways, one of Santa Anna's most memorable things he did was to lose Texas. So done, Moving on, I'm going to talk about how this happened. So in 1821 in Texas, a few Mexicans were living in Texas. In 1825, Mexico was having problems on fighting some tribes. So they were like, hey Americans, come help. Come to Texas. In 1834, there were much more Americans than Mexicans in Texas. And Mexico was like, whoa, calm down. So they stopped the immigration from US. In 1835, Mexico abolished many states' rights and focused more on Mexico City. This caused a lot of revolts, including a Texas revolt. In March 2nd of 1836, Texas declared independence, a rebellion. Santa Anna was not happy, so he went with an army to Texas and crushed the rebellion. There was a massacre of rebels. By the way, this was in the Alamo. The rebels got inspired to keep fighting, and were saying, remember the Alamo. Santa Anna's army was then took by surprise and defeated in the San Jacinto battle. Texas won independence.
In 1854, it began what we know as the Revolution of Ayutla, which was a movement in protest of Santa Anna's government. But it finally ended in 1955 with Ignacio Nentour becoming the president of Mexico. In 1857, with the Plan of Tacubaya, some new laws were proposed. These laws are called the Leyes de Reforma, and they were very liberal, and they made a lot of people angry. And obviously, they led to a war that was called the Guerra de Reforma, which was a conflict between liberales and conservadores. And during this period of time, there was a lot of economic instability because of all the battles that were being fought. The president during this time was Benito Juárez, and he was also the liberal leader. And the conservative leader was called Félix de Zuluaga.
So this war lasted around 3 years. It ended on 1861. Benito Juárez was president from 1858 to 1872. This led to the second French invasion and the second Mexican Empire with Maximiliano de Habsburgo and his wife Carlota. Their empire lasted from 1864 to 1867, and after Maximiliano was killed and his wife returned to Europe and went crazy and later killed herself, Maximiliano de Habsburgo came to Mexico with the idea that people actually wanted him to govern us, and he had really good intentions to applied to the benefit of all the people, but he was overthrown before he could actually do anything. And he was killed by the liberals in Cerro de las Campanas in Querétaro. The restored republic began on 1867.
Porfiriato. José de la Cruz Porfirio Díaz Morín was his full name. He was a Mexican dictator which stayed in the power from 1876 to 1911. Usually people think about this period as a very hard dictatorship where nobody was free, nobody could talk, taxes were really high and the government was always watching you. It's kind of true but not really. At the beginning of this period called the Porfiriato, actually things were going very well. For first, the Congress approved the indefinite re-election, which was the excuse of Porfirio Díaz to maintain in power more than 30 years. Second, he constructed over 20,000 kilometers of railroad directed to the most important harbors of the country and also were useful for the circulation of products and the control of the militia. A lot of banks were funded. Little by little, our external debts were paid. Oil exploitation was fomented by foreign invasion, especially from France. The minery was on its very point. We were the second place in copper producers. The textile industry was developed with French and Mexican capital. Factories on Puebla and Veracruz were constructed. Vast production of Heineken, sugarcane and cotton were produced. They were very high with the agriculture and ranching. And Mexico achieved a very high economic development. In all of Mexican history, this was the only period where the Mexican economics were favorable.